to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at thepropertees.com for more information.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a fourth. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia, Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Hey Adam, those burgers gonna be done before summer's over?
Maybe. Why? You got big plans for the summer?
Not really. Just the usual, kids hanging around the house. How about you?
Actually, I'm having Joshua get his pilot's license this summer.
What? Is he old enough? Can you really do that in just the summer?
Yeah, you can get your pilot's license at 17, and the summer is plenty of time. Plus, this could be the start to his career as an airline pilot.
That is a great idea. I bet Tyler would love that. Actually, I would too.
You guys should do it.
I don't have time for that. Some of us have to work for a living, you know?
Not you, no. Seriously, they work around your schedule.
Really? That's cool. Where are you going?
Ocala Aviation, at the airport off 60th.
How'd you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, then I stopped in. I've got a card if you want the number.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone.
Hurry up, the burgers are burning.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
861-7484.
Hold on, I missed a number.
Such a slacker. Here it is again. 861-7484.
Excellent. I'm gonna call them now.
How about we eat before you start your new adventure?
That's probably a good idea.
You think?
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to, not Jim George. He said he's taking the day off. He said he's sending his daughter, Michelle, in to talk to us about American cable services.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then Ocala Magazine Radio with your host, Kelly Hart. Kelly will bring to these airwaves the stories in Ocala Magazine.
Then join the Equine Alliance of Marion County as they let us know what's going on in the equine world on horse dens.
And then Dr. Lori Marker, one of the world's leading experts on cheetahs. She's going to talk to us about cheetahs, cheating, and everything cheatable. It's a book called The Future for Cheetahs.
Laura Riley is a psychotherapist who helps battered women. She's written a book called Tell Me of Brave Women, depicting the lives of 3 unique women from different parts of the world.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
We're back on the Voice of Ocala on a now sunny Thursday. That's why you got to love Florida. Just wait for, you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Arden Tillman, the president and CEO of Silver Springs Management, joins us. And when you first sat down here, it was storming. It was raining so hard you couldn't see across the parking lot. And that's a beautiful summer Florida afternoon.
It's lovely. It's lovely. But that's Florida weather for you.
It is.
We had a little downpour at Wild Waters this morning, and 10 minutes later, the sun was shining and everyone's back in the wave pool.
Let's jump right into Wild Waters.
Let's
go right into Wild Waters. Open today?
Open today. Today was the first official opening day. We opened at 10 o'clock. We'll be open until 6 o'clock.
And you've been the concessionaire for 14 complete days now.
I think we're technically at 13 and a half.
So you were able to get something open at Wild Waters quickly.
Yes.
I know you weren't the concessionaire until 13 and a half days ago.
Yes.
A lot of people were angry this didn't get open by Memorial Day because that's when it should. That's when we Ocalans think it should be open.
Sure.
Because it's our park and we get to use it. Blah blah blah. Was there discussions about not opening it at all?
Well, certainly. And, those discussions circulate and happen with all of our representatives in Tallahassee and the management throughout the Department of Environmental Protection, because they manage and oversee what happens with that land. And so there were, obviously, as the concessionaire in the neighboring park, there were some conversations that we were involved in or that we were aware of because of our proximity. And there were, the park was in serious disrepair is a way to put it nicely. And so when anyone would walk through and take a look at what it would take to get the park in not only operating condition, but, safe, there was a lot. There was a significant investment that needed to be made, and it was going to take a lot of time and work. And so when the DEP, and again, this is my perspective, I don't work for them, but they were trying to calculate, they were trying to be very conscientious of how and where they were spending their funding. It was either going to be at Silver Spring State Park or Wild Waters or some of the other resources that they manage for us. And they were trying to do that with a lot of conscious decision making instead of being reactionary or jumping quickly into a decision without being really fully informed about what it was going to take. And so I do firmly believe that they made the best decision that they could, and they did that on the best timeline that they could given the condition of that water park.
Now, you opened today. What parts of the park are available for people today?
Today, we have the Wave Pool, Cool Kids Cove, and the Tad Pool that are available for guests to enjoy, swim, lay out, sun yourselves.
So mommies all over the county can breathe a sigh of relief.
Mommies can breathe a sigh of relief. We've got burgers and fries open with some concessions. You can come in, get your lunch, sit down, get a little soda, and sun yourself while the kids are playing. So it's a nice day in the park today.
Now, as concessionaire of both parks, Silver Springs, the not amusement park, because it's no longer an amusement park, it's a state park now.
Correct.
And Wild Waters, which still is an amusement park.
Yes, it is.
How can you convince people that marrying those two together under the same umbrella is a smart move for that area?
Well, it's in a lot of ways, they go hand in hand. The two parks draw people who have different interests. And, the state park and that giant spring head that we have there is such an amazing and unique natural resource. And often I think as locals, even as a local Floridian, we don't recognize it for all it's worth. And so
we take it for granted, for sure.
Yeah.
I think as Floridians, we take the entire state of Florida for granted, for sure.
I would tend to agree. It's a beautiful place. But so with the water park right there, not only does it offer a great place for our local community to spend their summer, it does have significant economic impact on the area. We were speaking earlier about some of the vendors and merchants that
on Silver Springs Boulevard.
On Silver Springs Boulevard, and the traffic that park brings to them is significant. So not only does it have that economic impact and provide an activity for locals to go to, it draws a lot of attention to Silver Springs State Park. The cleanliness of the water and preserving our natural resources are really important, and all Floridians know that. But the more people that become aware of that and are able to see it and know it and learn it, the better off we all are. The more educated we can be on this, the easier it's going to be to accomplish those goals. So having a location like Wild Waters that can draw in so many people and then introduce them to the springs. We're getting a lot of people at Silver Springs State Park that we might not otherwise if Wild Waters wasn't there. So the two really complement each other. And likewise, a lot of people want to come and spend half a day kayaking, canoeing, just enjoying the natural park. And then they've got a real great place to go jump in and cool off right next door. They go hand in hand and they work well together.
Has there been any discussion about turning aspects of the state park back into the way Silver Springs was of yesteryear? Because you can go back and look at old pictures of Silver Springs in the 50s and the 60s. The old swimming hole was there and everything, and you actually could swim in the springs right there in Silver Springs. Is there any discussions of doing that ever again?
Yeah, absolutely. There absolutely are many conversations happening. And one of the things that's most encouraging about that is now that it is being returned to a state park, the community has a very strong voice, and they have a lot of ability to influence what happens in the park. The short answer of how this happens is there's a unit management plan. Every Florida state land has one. They're meant to kind of guide the direction of the park 10 years at a time. But that unit management plan is written intentionally to be flexible, because we know that what's decided on day one might be different 3 years from now. So a lot of people contribute to what that says. And right now there's a lot of conversations, and there's a very strong indication that as early as next year, there could be swimming in the springs again.
Okay, so I know that you have kayaking and canoeing at Silver Springs. Back on Silver Springs now, the next
At
door
the
neighbor.
Springhead. At the Springhead.
There's canoeing and kayaking. There's glass bottom boats. What else is there to do?
Well, what else is there to do? They have now connected what we refer to as Springside and Riverside. So what used to be Silver River State Park is now connected through hiking, biking, and horseback riding trails. You can get from one side to the other on these beautiful trails that the DEP created. We do have our concert venue, which is a very, very nice venue. And then one thing that we've recently added on, and this was it was obvious, but it was also very much requested by the community, is social gatherings and events. We're holding weddings, class reunions, birthday parties, anniversaries, family reunions, everything. We're holding everything there, and that falls right in line with our goal of really restoring Silver Spring State Park as a central part of this community. It's not only an amusement park or someone's place of business, it really is a location that is owned by and can be utilized by the community that surrounds it.
You know, I know a lot of people that think that the Springs could be an economic driver, not just in the ecotourism way, but that there has been discussions that it would be great if, you know, a piece of the land inside the Silver Springs amusement park, the old amusement park area, was set aside to make a fine dining restaurant where you could come and enjoy a steak or something and sit right next to beautiful springs. And I know that's not the area of the DEP. They want to turn it back into a state park. Mm-hmm. How does this concessionaire group view some privatizing plans a part of that area? Is that something would you look to work into concert with other private entities to be a part of the action there? Is that something that is completely in control of the state and they have to sign off on it first?
Well, as far as what actually happens on that land, that is in control of the state. They have to sign off on anything that happens there. Our position as a private business is that, it's in our best interest in the communities to partner with any venture that's a good idea that's going to be mutually beneficial to everyone. Where we stand right now is that it is so important to get those springs cleaned up and protect them. But the second side of
WOCA
is, when we start talking about adding
WOCA
business inside, there are so many businesses on Silver Springs Boulevard that can use that business. Why add in another competitor when we still have some businesses right outside our front gates that can use that business and continue to grow? So yes, that's I've heard that conversation throughout the community, but I think there are probably some more strategic ways to develop that area that are healthier for the community as a whole.
Okay, so we're looking at the Silver Spring State Park. Now it's in conjunction with Silver River State Park. There's trails been cut through and everything. Can I pay to get in one and go to the other?
Yes, sir, you can. Just like any other state park in the state of Florida, there's just the entrance fee to get in. It's $8 per vehicle or $2 per person if you want to ride your bike in. And you get a little receipt, and you can either hike to the other side, but if you're not up for the 3-mile walk, you can get in your car, drive around to the other entrance, show them your receipt, and in you go.
So we got about a minute left. So glad you were with us. We're talking with Arden Tillman, the president and CEO of Silver Springs Management Group, the concessionaire of Silver Springs State Park and Wildwaters. With about a minute to go, what's you're 9 months into this project.
Yes, sir.
It's changing daily because that's the animal which it is when you take over an endeavor like this. What's the next 6 months hold?
Growth, development, improvements, excitement, and really restoring these two locations to the significance that they once were. We're going to continue tying in closer in ways that we can benefit the entire community. We're going to make sure that the facilities and activities that happen there are what they should be, and really bring back some of those glory days that everybody reminisces on.
All right, thanks so much, Arden. Arden Tillman, President and CEO. It's such a short time we had together, but it gives me a different perspective now on what's going on out there at the Springs. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, Buddy Martin joins the show. Brad Rogers, the editorial editor of the Star Banner. He'll be here as well. We'll get some of their response to the conversation we just had with Arden Tillman right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
If you feel like that's what you want to do, bring me down. Can't none bring me down.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
You're listening to The Source, your home for Fox News and Fox Sports Weekends.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. As violent militants edge closer to Baghdad, Germany urging its citizens to immediately leave parts of the country. President Obama saying the Iraqi government will need help from us and the international community.
Our national security team is looking at all the options.
Top Republican lawmakers blaming the White House for underestimating the situation in Iraq. Released captive Sergeant Bo Bergdahl slated to return back to the U.S. overnight, according to senior defense officials.
He will be taken straight to San Antonio to the Brooke Army Medical Center. We do not expect to see him on his way into the hospital. In fact, we've been told that they will not give the press access.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. And actress and activist Ruby Dee has died. Her career, which spanned radio, TV, stage, and film, included roles alongside her late husband of 56 years, Ossie Davis. She was 91. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When my son started having behavior problems, the total transformation techniques were like the instruction manual on how to deal with him. We got immediate results.
Do you wish your kid came with an instruction manual? When he's disrespectful, defiant, or even abusive, do you know how to fix it? I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman, and I'll show you how to change your child's behavior with the Total Transformation, the program that helps you fix every behavior problem under the sun. There's no screaming, no fighting, no frustration. The Total Transformation is the program my husband James used for over 30 years to solve even the worst behavior problems. your child will listen to you again, and you'll get peace and sanity back in your home. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you.
Call now, 1-800-894-8166. 1-800-894-8166. That's 1-800.
Are you a mom looking for inspiration? Are you creative? Mamazine.com is a lifestyle blog designed for the local mom to be inspired by the beauty of motherhood while staying current on local events and issues. Visit Mamazine.com today to find events around town, recipes, imaginative play ideas, and more. Mamazine.com.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
WOCA is proud to be part of the first annual Hispanic West Indian American Food and Music Festival Community Outreach. Authentic ethnic food and music, June 14th, 12 to 5 p.m., 125 Marion Oaks Trail, Marion Oaks. Salsa, Merengue Orchestra, West Indian Music, Islands Music DJ. For more information or to be a vendor, call 201-356-7156. That's 201-356-7156. June 14th, 12 to 5 p.m., 125 Marion Oaks Trail, Marion Oaks. Help support community awareness needs.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA.
All right, welcome to the other part of the show. I'm Buddy Martin joining the contest in the fray in action, already underway. Program today. Thanks for the first half hour, Tom Schmitz and his guests on Silver Springs. And some enlightening things there. And now we'll have some more enlightenment. We love it when this guy comes in. He's a little bit tired, a little bit angry. And we just get him stirred up, and he says all kind of interesting things to radio. That'd be our friend Brad Rogers, editorial page editor of the Star Banner. Hi, Brad.
Hi, buddy. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Sure.
We got talking on the phone today, and I said, why don't you come in and let's talk about this on the air, because I think it's fairly significant what happened. And we'll get to that in just a moment in terms of politicians, elections, what happened to Eric Cantor, et cetera, et cetera. You made a good point, which I'll let you bring up in a minute. But on the Silver Springs issue, I talked to a leading public official today, this morning, over coffee about that. And it seems as though there's still some difficulty in communication with Tallahassee, although Tallahassee has cut some of the bureaucracy out and they are dealing more direct with our county. But there are things going on already, like there's a trail being built here that joins, I think Tom might have mentioned it, that actually the state came in and built without consulting with the county, which is kind of odd. The county had wanted to do something similar, and they said no. And then so there's just that left-hand, right-hand deal, you know.
Right.
I'm glad that we got some locals at least who are, you know, dealing with the springs. And I know you have some concerns, but there is something in the plan, which we talked about last time, that was sent to Tallahassee, which is due for some kind of ratification or something this summer regarding the springs, and it involves the development of the springs, which is an area you and I have talked about and don't entirely agree upon. And I think one of those things is to ultimately get a hotel somewhere on the premises. And we talked about this last time. You view it as whatever you view it as, but on the other hand, I say they've got cabins out there now which you can stay in. Why not making more cabins and making it, you know, more indigenous to the area? Anyway, so just give me your quick update on where you stand with the spring situation.
I want to swim in the springs. that's my objective.
What are you doing tonight at midnight? We'll go out there.
Well, originally they weren't going to have swimming in the springs, and I threatened to go out there and dive in nude, and that they quickly changed their tune. But
they're trying to clean the springs, Brad.
well, and Tom, you hit the nail on the head. Before we start building resort hotels so the local developers can stuff their pockets a little fatter, why don't we clean the springs? Why don't we just let people see what the springs can look like before we put more concrete and runoff? I mean, the whole point is to try to reduce the runoff, and I hear this, it's going to be an ecotourism lodge. It's going to be a hotel. Hotels produce human waste and food waste. That's what hotels do. And, I just don't think a hotel should be. I mean, if there's going to be one built there, can we do it a long time from now, after we get the springs cleaned up and after we get some plants replanted and the weeds taken out and the water, the invasive water plants cut back, and it's so far down on the list of needs. If you want to build a hotel, there's all kinds of property along 40 that would be just perfect.
Okay,
so,
you're right. You are cranky. Anyway, I'd say
at least I'm honest.
A quick response to the move on is that I don't think anyone ever said anything about a resort hotel, but that's another deal. It's not like some.
Well, what would you build? What would you build on one of the most beautiful bodies of water in North Central Florida?
I don't think I'd build anything on it. I think I'd add to what's already there.
You're not going to build a Motel 6. I mean, if they are, they're idiots.
Well, you got against Motel 6.
I don't have anything, except I don't think that's where you'd want to
all the time. That's my favorite place.
They keep the light on, I'm sure.
Exactly, they do. But my point to you is why can't they have both? Which of course, I'm for cleaning the springs up. That's first and foremost. But you need to also have some kind of economic development plan. And my understanding after talking to some people this morning is that even though they're not pushing that hard, there's a language between the state and the county and the people here, our community, what we want there.
Buddy, how long have you lived in this town?
How long have I lived in it? Probably more years than you've been on the earth, but anyway.
Right. Okay, so a long time. Mm-hmm. And when you take a piece of property or properties and you develop a piece of it, mm-hmm. You know what happens right next to that? More development. Mm-hmm. And then more development. I mean, they want to turn this into a theme park, a resort park.
Who is they?
They being Stan McLean is the guy that seems to be out in front on this, and I love Stan, and I really appreciate what Stan mm-hmm. has done in terms of getting us to this point on the springs. But I mean, can't we do some other stuff? Can't we do some fun stuff that doesn't require, clearing a large swath of land on Silver Springs Park? I mean, really, if they want a site for a hotel, I promise you I can find you a dozen within a mile by the morning. I can call Bartow McDonald right now, and he'll give you a list. I don't know why everyone's so hot to put a hotel.
I don't know if that's the number one priority.
I understand that you need to have some visitor services shops and businesses. I understand, and I agree. And I even agree, I think, that probably the water park at some point needs to be taken down. But man, why all of a sudden the hotel is like this burning priority?
I don't know that it is a burning priority. I didn't get that. I don't get that at least. Anyway, that's something I
You keep bringing it up. I just figured.
No, I like to. Here's what I'm thinking. We'll move on to something else. Okay, something more important. But I think the thing is, when you make a plan, you have to be inclusive. You can't say, I'm going to set my budget this year for the Star Banner, mm-hmm. and we're going to cover all these things, and we're only going to talk about what we're going to cover in sports.
Well,
you got to talk about the government. You got to talk about the whole package.
I'm going to say something really dangerous here.
About the Star Banner?
There's only one state park system in the entire United States that has won 3 gold medals
mm-hmm.
for excellence.
Yeah.
And that's the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Now, I probably don't agree with everything that the park system does or will do or ever do, nor should we. But they kind of know what they're doing. And until the springs is kind of somewhat restored to where, You know, you can look at it and you and I can say, wow, it's starting to look like it used to look like. You know, let's go real slow on the development thing. And I
so
know
you just
people,
want to go swimming in it in the next 5 years, and then when I'm dead and gone, you can have your hotel later, right? Is that it? Anyway,
I don't want my hotel. I don't want a hotel at all.
I think the hotel is one minor part of it. Here's my key thing, and I will stop.
You have a roller coaster?
I want to have, I don't know, I mean, what you want, but I want it to be.
Mike Amston suggests we put our baseball stadium out there.
I heard that. I want to see some kind of economic development for the area. I think we need jobs, we need commerce, we need opportunities for people to. We need private enterprise involved at some level. I don't see the plan. I don't know the plan. I'd like to see it and know it, but I think we need to do something besides turn it into a state park and go out and go kayaking in it all day and swim. It has to be more than that. And so that's my thinking about it. Let's move on to something more important. Here's the deal. Eric Cantor. We talked about this today. What a shock this was. Mm-hmm. People are still reading from, my gosh, how could this happen? Someone who thought they might be the next Speaker of the House can't even win his seat in Virginia over whatever issues there were, including, I guess one of them was immigration. But you and I discussed this, and no kidding, Eric Cantor, a little out of touch as a politician, insulated by Washington, became a Washington insider and totally lost his perspective with his constituents. You agree?
Agree. But there's also more to the story.
Which is?
They had an open primary. And the Democrats got together. And said, it's open primary. We can vote for anybody we want. We can vote. It's not like our primaries where you have to either vote for a Democrat or you have to vote for a Republican.
But some people do register Republican just to vote in the primary. I won't say any names, but they do.
But, yeah, I've heard that. But they had an open primary. Mm-hmm. And the Democrats got out and decided they were going to
beat Eric Cantor.
Yeah,
no. Well, he only spent $206,000, so obviously, he got what he wanted. But my point is, he still didn't have. Right. He didn't have his finger on the pulse of his constituency. Right. And you and I talked about this. What is wrong? And there's a parallel to it right here in our community, which you brought up.
Right. Well,
Cliff Stearns.
Cliff Stearns.
So what is the parallel?
The only difference is Eric Cantor was a little higher on the food chain in Congress. Obviously, voters will vote an incumbent in. Doesn't have to really do anything, except you can't ignore them. They're not going to be ignored. And, as you and I talked about earlier, Cantor was in Washington on Election Day. Obviously, it was more important for him to be making friends and influencing people on Capitol Hill than it was back in his district, and it wasn't lost on the voters. I think the big lesson is that you don't have to have a lot of money to win an election if, as I frequently try to get our local officials to do, is if you have an idea.
And I like that. Or if you want to go out and
just
and
be
do,
for something,
and do what Ted Yoho did, which is go to every clam bake that you can go to, kiss every baby, and go up and down to every small dinner hamburger place, and from Lake City to Ocala, whatever in that district, and next thing you know, he's beaten Cliff Stearns, a very respected member of Congress, knocked him out of the box.
Right.
So you're the guy who studies this. We got about a minute for the break. Okay. No, we don't. Let's take a break. Come back. I want you to explain to me. You studied politics. That's your job as editorial page editor. What do you see? Is there a new Republican Party emerges, and the split between the Republican Party and Tea Party, is there a greater divide than ever, and what is that? Because the Tea Party didn't give him a dime. And was it the Democrats that defeated him, or was it the Tea Party? The Tea Party's taking the credit. So give me your thoughts on that. Brad Rogers is here. He's going to be a little more friendly in the next half of the show. He might play fake or factor off his time, but on the other side, we'll talk about politics with Brad right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still play here.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800. Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
WOCA is proud to be part of the first annual Hispanic West Indian American Food and Music Festival Community Outreach. Authentic ethnic food and music. June 14th, 12 to 5 p.m. 125 Marion Oaks Trail, Marion Oaks. Salsa, Merengue Orchestra, West Indian Music, Islands Music DJ. For more information or to be a vendor, call 201-356-7156. That's 201-356-7156. June 14th, 12 to 5 p.m. 125 Marion Oaks Trail, Marion Oaks. Help support community awareness needs.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Ditch the foods that cause bloat and then eat more lean protein, berries, and fresh veggies. You do that, you can drop 5 pounds in a week. If you like to go to all your kids' recitals and never miss a sporting event, having a flexible schedule might be more appealing than a bigger paycheck. If you stop paying attention because you're tired or stressed, that is normal. But you may have ADD if you have difficulty with small talk.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
I keep a close watch on this.
Back with Brad Rogers, the editorial page editor of the Star Banner. Cliff Stearns was a very respected guy in Congress by all accounts. I thought he was very popular in this district. Looked like he was going to be a slam dunk to be elected again. He had a big war chest, bought a lot of money, which never got spent.
Right.
And he got beat by Ted Yoho. Mm-hmm. What happened in that situation?
Well, I think it was the same thing that Cantor had. I mean, I think he was a guy who was perceived as being, he was a guy. Interestingly about Cliff is Cliff ran as the citizen legislator. Remember, he ran as a term limits guy. He was going to go up there 3 terms and come home, and he got there, and it was like, wow, I like this.
Yeah, that's right. And Brad, by the way, is the same thing. He's a term limits guy. The guy who beat Cantor is a term limits guy. So we'll see how that plays out. But
right.
That was interesting. You're right. He wanted to basically fire himself is what he wanted
right.
to do.
He said, I'd serve 3 terms and I'll come home. I'm going to be a citizen legislator. And he got up there and he stayed for 24 years.
Something like that.
24 years. And, I went to Tallahassee during that campaign one day, and I came back, and my dad lives in Suwannee County on the river, and I was coming down through the country back roads, and I mean, all I saw was Yoho and Ulrich signs. Yoho and Ulrich. I was like, is Cliff Stearns even campaigning up here? Mm-hmm. And he just didn't get out and campaign. He just took it for granted. It had become so easy. I think it's a sign that people are fed up, and we've become such a society in terms of politics where the screaming nut jobs get all the attention. That if you're not out there screaming, people don't think you're paying attention, and they're just quietly voicing their opinion with their votes, I think.
Let's talk about the Republican Party. They're obviously in disarray. They're not even sure who they're going to run for, would run anyway. You have a situation where the split is now even bigger between the two party and the so-called dyed-in-the-wool Republicans, as we saw in the Cantor race.
Right.
I have not yet found a Republican who could define to me yet what the Republican Party is, or what their agenda, or who the candidate would be. You think that this Cantor thing threw them further in tailspin?
I always hate to put too much on one race, but I think the Cantor, or is it Brandt? Is that how you say his name?
Bratt.
I think Bratt certainly provides a template for other challengers to follow. And again, there's a lot to be said for just shaking somebody's hand and asking for their vote.
Agreed. Simplicity of it, and in the end, I'd like to think part of it was what the guy stood for. I don't know his values, whatever it may be, and the fact that he looked people in the eye and he talked to them and he connected with them in some way. So we got about a minute, less than a minute. Tell me what you see ahead for the new politics and what the center is where you still have to run.
Well, I think people want to know that something's going to get done. It just isn't in Washington. It's in Tallahassee, i.e. the Springs bill. Mm-hmm. It's the uninsured. It's our schools. It's at the local level, the disconnection between the school board and the county commission and the people of this county, where there's nothing's getting done. And I think people, they want something to get done. And in terms of the Republican Party, they run everything. They run the county commission, the school board, the legislature, the state cabinet, the Congress. They run everything except the presidency. And he's not exactly wowing anybody either. But I think they want something to get done, and they're tired of this gridlock.
And the words, a mantra of Brad Rogers: "Be for something." I always love that about you, and keep writing those kind of editorials. We appreciate you coming in.
Sure, thank you.
Hope we'll do it again soon.
Absolutely.
Brad Rogers, editorial page editor of the Star Banner. Coming up next, we'll talk about an actress who dies, whose name you would recognize. A new suspect in the O.J. case. Wow, and something very scary happened 53 years ago, and we don't even know about it now. Coming up next on the Voice of Ocala right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class, or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tonics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla español as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Hi, I'm Angie Lewis. Let's talk every Tuesday afternoon on WOCA, the voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is Austin Tavern reminding you to stay in contact with us at WOCA. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Voice of Ocala. Make sure to become a friend of our Facebook page and call us at 622-9622.
I'm Major George Patterson from the Salvation Army. Please stop by our family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala, where on Wednesday you have a 50% off clothing and bric-a-brac. On Friday, 25% off furniture and large appliances. And on Saturday, stop by to our yard sale from 8:45 to 11. Donations can be made by calling 352-732-4469 and we'll pick it up. Funds from the store go toward the services that we provide in Marion County.
Ooh, it's cold in here. Ooh, it's hot in here.
It's just right in this house.
Looks like 1 out of 3 know about climate control mechanical services in Ocala. The first didn't call 291-0185. The second didn't know to call 291-0185. The third called 291-0185. So the moral of the story? To know is one thing, but to know and take action is another. Climate control mechanical services. Just right.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. The president says Iraq will need U.S. help as Islamic extremists take control of more Iraqi cities.
Illinois Republican Adam Kinzinger was an Air Force pilot and served in Iraq. He calls images of insurgents taking key cities there heartbreaking.
This is devastating. And I mean, the question is, where the hell is the president right now?
Kinzinger and a growing number of lawmakers here are urging U.S. airstrikes to quell the terror group making gains in Iraq.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern, Germany telling its citizens to leave Iraq. Fox News confirming 3 plane loads of Americans evacuated. Sergeant Bo Bergdahl expected back in the U.S. overnight. His journal and Facebook entries indicate he struggled with his mental stability when Army colleagues say he deserted in Afghanistan.
I never asked you where all this came.
Actress and civil rights activist Ruby Dee dead at 91. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When my son started having behavior problems, the total transformation techniques were like the instruction manual on how to deal with him. We got immediate results.
Do you wish your kid came with an instruction manual? When he's disrespectful, defiant, or even abusive, do you know how to fix it? I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman, and I'll show you how to change your child's behavior with the Total Transformation, the program that helps you fix every behavior problem under the sun. There's no screaming, no fighting, no frustration. The Total Transformation is the program my husband James used for over 30 years to solve even the worst behavior problems. Your child will listen to you again, and you'll get peace and sanity back in your home. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you.
Call now. 1-800-894-8166. 1-800-894-8166. That's 1-800-894.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Welcome back to the program. Our thanks to Brad Rogers. Always interesting. He has something to say, even when he's in a cranky mood. He's got good stuff to say. So, editorial page editor of the Star Banner, joining us for the last half hour. Part of that, you heard Tom's guest on Silver Springs and talking about what was happening with Wild Waters. And,
she's the president and CEO, Arden Tillman.
Yeah, she just got that job, too. Didn't she?
She's had it for since March 1st.
So, interesting interview. I imagine some of these interviews will pop up soon around 4th of July. Again, we'll probably use these.
They may.
They may. If you haven't heard, Sergeant Bo Bergdahl headed back to the U.S. finally, according to the Pentagon. He'll arrive here tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. A lot of criticism. The hearing in Washington and the secretary getting kind of treated abruptly by some of the congressmen about why is he there this long? Why has he been there holding in 12 days, et cetera. Anyway, Sergeant Bergdahl on his way back to the U.S. Actress Ruby Dee. You ever heard of Ruby Dee?
Yeah, she was in a movie with Sidney Poitier. What was the name of that movie?
Raisin in the Sun.
Raisin in the Sun, yeah.
Among others. She's in a couple of Spike Lee movies, too.
Right, but I know she was in that one with Sidney Poitier.
Dies at 91. 91,
wow.
So, and this is a couple stories that kind of interested me today. We'll have a chance to air these out during this hour, and we'll play fake or factoid at the end of it. We didn't get a chance to play with Brad. Brad had other things on his mind today, but we'll get him next time around. This, I don't want this to sound like the conspiracy theory that became Dallas and President Kennedy, how many shooters there were and so on and so forth. But the O.J. case comes up because 20 years ago, yesterday, we saw the white Bronco going round and round and round and round and round. We all remember that. Now there's a book out, which I'm sure is time to come out at this time, that suggests that somebody else killed Nicole Brown Simpson, and I'll tell you about that, which I think is kind of interesting. It's been talked about before, but this guy's an investigator. We'll see what he's got in the book, but apparently this particular book says it was not O.J. Simpson. Doesn't matter; he's still in prison. This is a scary thing. You know the old saying about sometimes it's better we don't know. You don't need to know things. Well, when you hear about this thing that happened in 1961, we came within inches of our own nuclear holocaust right here. And it happened because of an accident which happened. We could have been Hiroshima right here in our country, not too far from Florida, if something had not, for some reason, these bombs didn't go off. I'll tell you about that. And I want to bring these two things up today because they're things that, one of them is, I'm going to say it again, stop the insanity. Please. I mean, every single day there's another shooting. This time a Catholic church in Phoenix, a Catholic priest is shot to death. Every day somebody's being shot to death. I don't get it. I think we have to get beyond the politics and the NRA and the Democrats who want gun control and say, what is wrong with this? Why can't we fix it? What's it going to take? I mean, I'm so sick and tired of debating gun control. It kind of is like what the Pope said about 3 or 4 months ago when he said, let's not get so involved in all the issues that the Catholic Church has, whether it's gay marriage or this or that or contraception and so on and so on. Let's talk about the people who are starved to death. That's real. That's happening, While we're debating the issues, stuff is happening to people. And this is why we get so frustrated with government, because we expect them to do it. Guess what? They aren't going to solve it, folks. We are the only hope for our country. Ourselves, Americans, are going to say, I've had enough. I'm not going to put up with it. And by some means, somehow, disapprove of this and do something about it. That's all I'm going to say about that. It just gets me angry. I start thinking about it. On a happier note.
Hard to legislate people.
That's what we do, though, Tom.
I know. It's hard to legislate maniacs.
That's what that's
and
true.
This was all indication was this was a robbery that they happened in on, and they got shot when they stopped burglars from coming into the church.
Yeah, well, the issues are bigger than that about why the guys robbing in the first place. Secondly, about the mental illness issue, where we, by the way, have pretty much kissed off people who are mentally ill in this country.
We have.
It's just put it back on the street.
Out the asylums, put them on the street.
Put them out on the street. Let them take care of it. And so we're getting some of that back. And it's our when you lose,
reap what you sow. I believe the good book says you reap what you sow, don't you?
Yes, and if you don't care enough about it. When you don't have a heart for people, and you can't be compassionate when they're starving to death, and you can't understand the significant economic impact of not having a job and how it devastates a family, and when you don't care about values that include valuing life, which we don't in this country anymore. I've said it 1,000 times. Why do we have it so transfixed on death? Why does every TV program start with a body and who done it? And why are these kids getting involved with these figures like Slender Man and going out and doing evil things? I mean, what is that telling us? Are we not listening? I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, today on A Good Story, former President George H.W. Bush, 90 years old. What's he doing on his 90th birthday? What does he do? Take a stroll in a wheelchair? No. Go downtown and shoot pool with the boys? Nope. Jumps out of an airplane. Wow. Jumps out of an airplane. I wouldn't do that when I was 25.
Any question?
90.
Any kind of answer on whether Greg Graham, the chief of police from Ocala, was with him?
I believe he pushed him out. Greg will probably die. He'll probably jump out of planes till he did it with a broken back. Right. So what's going to stop him?
Let me tell you, at 90 years old, you'd have had to push me out of the airplane.
Oh, man, no way. Exactly. With or without a chute. Now I got a quiz for you. Well, we're going to take a break and come back. You're the historian. Spencer, Tom fancies himself as a history major and a guy who knows a lot of things about history. And President Bush is 90. I want you to tell me, if you can come up, how many of these names you come up with of the longest living presidents, not in office,
right?
But
living, period.
The ones who lived or who lived. Not one. Some of them are dead now, but they lived longer lives. Okay,
I understand.
It's a stressful job, as we know.
Right, it is.
So I want to see how many of these you can get.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a number. I'm gonna say you'll probably get 6.
Okay.
How many do you think, Spencer? How many?
I'm gonna give him 7.
Let's turn his mic up.
You gonna give him what?
I'm gonna give him 7.
You give him 7? All right. 7. All right.
You are generous. I think I would give myself about 4.
Yeah. What does Christian say? How many do you think you'll get out of these, Christian? Just real quick, how many is he going to get right?
I'll meet in the middle, about 5.
You're going 5. Okay, we got 5, 6, and 7. We're all being the same. Tom says 4. So we got 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, all right, we'll come back. We'll talk about that. And we'll tell you about this book out that says not OJ, but somebody close to him killed Nicole Brown Simpson. And also the night that we almost had a nuclear holocaust right here in our country, just coming out in some old files. All that coming up next right here on The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a 4th. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia. Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
WOCA.
This is Jeopardy!
Here are the categories.
I'll take Mike Scott Plumbing for 1,000, please, Alex.
Answer. Daily double.
I'll wager 5,000.
All right. Here is the clue. PU is the type of this complication.
What is a sewage backup?
Yes, that's right.
It's all fun and games until something happens to you, like a septic system failure or a clogged drain or line, leaving you saying PU. But not to worry, Mike Scott Plumbing is there to get you out of that jeopardy and back on track. And they don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. From septic pumping to lawn irrigation to high-efficiency water heaters. At Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Stop by one of the newly renovated showrooms in Hernando or Wildwood, or call today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Back on the program. I mentioned before the break this list of presidents that lived the longest. Not that lived the longest in office, but just lived the longest. And Mr. Historian himself, Tom, has volunteered to be the guinea pig here. He's going to step up, and we give him the Las Vegas line is 6.5. That's why I just
didn't give it as much thought even during the break. I should have been thinking about it.
Well, you were messing around, see?
Well, my significant other asked me to get her some tickets and stuff. You know, I'm a busy man.
Okay, well, if you're going to deal with your significant other, then you'll have to take a beating on the things like this. Cause
I know
most of us have to pay attention to what we're doing. Well, Spencer told me that.
I got some good ideas, though.
Spencer told me you got to take care of your business. That's what he said.
I got some good ideas, though.
All right. Here we go. The 10 longest lived presidents, okay? Not the ones that lived the longest in office, but the ones who lived the longest period there who were president.
Right.
Okay, you'll get a couple of them are sitting ducks.
Well, George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush that just jumped out of a plane is one of them.
Yeah, you think he's one? Correct. He's number 5 on the list.
Ronald Reagan's one of them.
Correct. He's number 2. How many is that, Spencer? Keep count.
Howard Taft is one of them.
Howard Taft is not on the list.
Taft is not on the list?
No.
Wow.
You only get 3 misses.
Okay, let me think then. Is Hoover on the list?
Hoover is on the list. He's number 4. He was 90 years old. He was 90 years old, 247, just behind, just ahead of George H.W. Bush. Who, by the way, George H.W. Bush will pass him, obviously. Right. So,
let me. I'm gonna have to think.
All right. Think. Let me just give you a little hip. Think more about some modern presidents, okay?
Yeah, it's going to be modern because of...
there's 3 on there of oldie goldies, guys that you and I have talked about many times.
Is Teddy Roosevelt on that list?
Teddy Roosevelt's not on the list.
Oh.
Who else did you say besides? You said Reagan?
Reagan, Bush.
Yeah. You're right in there, aren't you? Going to go ahead and... I mean, you're all around it.
Well, I mean, I don't know how old Jimmy Carter is, so he would be on the list.
Jimmy Carter's on the list.
Really?
Number 6, 89 years old.
I didn't realize Jimmy Carter was 89 years old.
89 years old.
I thought Jimmy was more like 81 or 82.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Watergate.
Was Nixon that old?
Nixon was 81 years old when he died.
Nixon was that? Where's he at on the list?
10th out of 10.
Oh, okay. He's 10 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then you got some oldie goldies, huh?
Well, I mean, Nixon, and what happened? I'm giving you all kind of hints trying to get you up there. So what's he got so far? He got 5? I'm going to give him one more guess. Guess somebody. You got to guess somebody.
Lyndon Johnson.
Lyndon Johnson is not on the list.
Well, then I'm done.
So there you go. So what was the number? 5? Who had 5? Christian said 5.
I got one more than I thought I'd get.
You got one more.
How many? Were any of our founding forefathers on there?
Yeah.
John Adams.
John Adams was on the list. He's number 3. He was 90 years old.
90 years old.
Thomas Jefferson was on the list. 83.
You know they died the exact same day.
Same day, but not the same age. Jefferson was 83. James Madison.
I didn't realize Madison was that old.
85 years.
How old was George?
George Bush.
George Washington wasn't on the list.
George Washington on the list. No.
I think he died at like 70.
Only one we missed, I think, is Harry Truman, 88.
I didn't realize old Harry was that old.
Yeah, so that's your list. Again,
you wouldn't think James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, because of technology. You wouldn't think the average age back then was like 56 years old.
I agree. So backwards, we got Nixon 10, Jefferson 9, Madison, Truman, Carter, George H.W. Bush, Herbert Hoover, John Adams, Ronald Reagan, and number 1 is Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford.
So you missed him.
I didn't even think of Jerry.
Yeah, I know. Well, he was a short timer.
Well, he's the only. What's his distinction as president? Do you know he's the only?
He pardoned Nixon.
He's the only vice president and president not elected to office.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
He was appointed as vice president and took over for Nixon when he resigned as president. He was never elected to either office.
Great information. Doesn't help you in your score.
Doesn't help me in my score.
Okay. Now, Tom, you didn't grow up in this era, and I did. People in the boomers that did. We had to live with the bomb. That was the thing we lived with. We grew it up because those atomic bombs out there, and we had to practice drills in school that, if the bomb hits, what are you going to do? I mean, it was a scary thing in my generation to think that somebody had a bomb that's going to drop on us and blow us all up. And so we lived with that, especially since we dropped one on Japan in 1945 and Hiroshima, which is a nuclear disaster, of course. We always worried about being the bomb. Well, little did we know that we almost had a nuclear disaster caused by not the Russians, but us. Listen to this story. This will give you chills. This just came out, just divulged from all the archives. January night, 1961, a U.S. Air Force bomber broke in half while flying over North Carolina. From the belly of the B-2 fell 2 bombs, 2 nuclear bombs, that hit the ground near Goldsboro. A disaster worse than the devastation wrought in Hiroshima or Nagasaki could have befallen the United States that night, but it didn't. thanks to a series of fortunate missteps. Declassified documents that the National Security Archive released this week offered new details about the incident. The blaring headline read, "Multi-megaton bomb was virtually armed when it crashed to Earth." Or as Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara put it back then, by the slightest margin of chance, literally, the failure of two wires to cross, a nuclear explosion was averted. The B-2 was flying over North Carolina on January 24, 61, when it suffered a failure of right wing. The plane broke in part, and the bombs plummeted. Now, that is scary. Sometimes it's better when you don't know stuff.
Yeah, I had actually saw that.
Mike has got to be turned on. Spencer, help him out over there.
I had actually saw that about a week ago on the American Heroes channel. They had a special on that exact declassification.
Yeah, so those stories.
And how close it came to.
Yeah.
They said that Virginia, North Carolina, the D.C. area, all would have been decimated.
And who knows what we don't know about? Those are just things we're learning. If you declassified all that stuff in Washington, what will we find out? Because that was a scary, scary moment, obviously. We talked about Ruby Dee dying, and she was married to Ossie Davis. You know who Ossie Davis was?
Yeah.
A very famous musician, producer. Right. And she played in several movies. Raising the Sun, which was obviously that was a huge thing. Sidney Poitier, by the way, who was a good-looking dude.
Sidney Poitier was one. He was
good-looking dude.
He one of the best actors that there was.
Yeah, he and Harry Belafonte, I think, were that same genre. I think cool cats. She played in the Spike Lee movie.
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing.
I'm well aware.
And Jungle Fever.
She played in Do the Right Thing with her husband.
And in Ozzy
was in the movie too.
What other movies she played in with Denzel Washington?
She was an American Gangster with Denzel Washington.
She was his mother.
Yep.
Yeah. She was a poet and a screenwriter. She won a Grammy and an Emmy, and won the National Medal of Arts from Kennedy Center. So you talk about
won a Grammy and an Emmy, hadn't you? Your bluegrass band won that Grammy, didn't it?
We missed on the Grammy.
Dadgummit.
Yeah. I would like to have a pulse. That would have been great, but we didn't get that. Anyway, here's the deal. We talk about people like Maya Angelou, and we should. She was great, and she does great things. This woman was extraordinary. This Ruby Dee was something else. I mean, and all the things she contributed. So R.I.P. to Ruby Dee, who was a gracious lady and a brilliant talent and actress, and somebody that probably nobody's ever heard of around here but me. But still, I think it's important to remember people like that who brought a lot to the arts. Okay. Tom got 5 on that list of presidents.
I got half of them.
I think I'd have got 5.
Yeah.
I think Miss Joni got 4, maybe 5. I probably have got 3. I would have gotten Reagan for sure.
And Bush.
I would have gotten Bush because of it today. I wouldn't have got Jefferson because I just didn't think that, you think about that at all. I wouldn't have got that list. I probably would have gotten Ford, probably. Because I met Gerald Ford, and I might have got one more. I would have got. I don't think I'd have gotten Nixon because I think he. So I would have gotten about 4.
I think Miss Joni's fixing to tell you what her number exactly was.
Now, this is my friend from Rob Marino who's going to drop by to see us today. For sure, texted me to say he's going to come by.
I haven't seen Mr. Marino in a while.
I know. He's a good man. Teaches out at the CF and does a good job in journalism. You guys ought to be here. Meet Mr. Marino. Professor Marino's a good dude. All right, so that's it. Now let's talk about OJ. Or should we save it to the break? Go to the break first in a minute.
Well,
come back.
we got
we'll
wait.
We'll come back to that. I want to talk also about this this Vietnam deja vu story, I call it. This whole thing of what is happening in Iraq. What is going on? You young gentlemen don't know about Vietnam and what it was, the war we could never win. But it seems like there's a pattern in our culture in the last 50 years or so, 60 years, is that we get dragged into a war over in Asia or the Middle East, whatever. We go over there to fight the enemy, ostensibly for whether it's oil or whether it's a civil war like it was in Vietnam or Korea, whatever. We send massive amounts of troops over there. We stay way longer than we should. We lose. We have thousands of American soldiers killed. We shed blood there for a cause that we don't really believe in because it's not our war. We get fought to a draw by the opposition, and then we pull out and declare victory. and say, well, we sure helped them. Except the problem is there's no victory. Nobody wins in that situation.
You're talking about Iraq right now.
Talking about Iraq and Vietnam.
Not Afghanistan.
I'm talking about Iraq right now, and I'm talking about Vietnam.
Okay.
And the similarities, the parallel. And that is that, when it happened, the reason so many of us who went through Vietnam say, I've seen this movie, is we've seen this movie. And now we read, what's disturbing is, now we're reading, and I'm going to read this Washington Post story to break about what is taking place if you hadn't followed the news. Right now, over there in northern Iraq, what's going on? And you say, well, what did we just do this for? What was the reason we did all this for? Because you know what? They're going to put it back like it was anyway. Now, we did all this stuff. It's like saying, okay, well, I'm going to spend a lot of money and decorate my house, and my wife's going to be surprised. I'm going to spend I'm going to get all this new stuff and get it all put in there, move it in, get it decorated. And she comes the next day and says, yeah, put it back like it was. Except it's a much more serious complications and also a lot more.
It can't go back exactly like it was because he's dead.
Yeah. So anyway.
Hussein's dead.
Yeah. Well, to that degree, yes. But the bottom line is there's still going to be bloodshed and violence and whatever.
Have been for thousands of years.
And you wonder if we just don't get it sometimes. We'll talk about that story. Let's look into this Catholic Church in Phoenix with the shooting there. And we'll talk more about, remember the thing about frequent flyers, about what's happening to us? We're getting ripped off. Another one of those stories. And what's the drunkest state in America?
Well, that's easy. That's easy. I know that.
You're not going to get it.
I know that.
You won't get it. Coming
Believe
back
me,
next,
I get it.
on the other side, right here on the Voiceville Cali.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Happy clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down.
Regions Bank has big bankability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Properties Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded freeze. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Properties Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems. Specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Properties Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at theproperties.com for more information.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. The president says Iraq will need U.S. help as Islamic extremists take control of more Iraqi cities.
Illinois Republican Adam Kinzinger was an Air Force pilot and served in Iraq. He calls images of insurgents taking key cities there heartbreaking.
This is devastating. And I mean, the question is, where the hell is the president right now?
Kinzinger and a growing number of lawmakers here are urging U.S. airstrikes to quell the terror group making gains in Iraq.
Fox Radio's Jared Halper in Germany telling its citizens to leave Iraq. Fox News confirming 3 plane loads of Americans evacuated. Sergeant Bo Bergdahl expected back in the U.S. overnight. His journal and Facebook entries indicate he struggled with his mental stability when Army colleagues say he deserted in Afghanistan.
I never asked you where all this came.
Actress and civil rights activist Ruby Dee dead at 91. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When my son started having behavior problems, the total transformation techniques were like the instruction manual on how to deal with him. We got immediate results.
Do you wish your kid came with an instruction manual? When he's disrespectful, defiant, or even abusive, do you know how to fix it? I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman, and I'll show you how to change your child's behavior with the Total Transformation, the program that helps you fix every behavior problem under the sun. There's no screaming, no fighting, no frustration. The Total Transformation is the program my husband James used for over 30 years to solve even the worst behavior problems. Your child will listen to you again, and you'll get peace and sanity back in your home. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you.
Call now. 1-800-894-8166. 1-800-894-8166. That's 1-800-894.
Alice?
Yes, George?
Guess what I have?
Can it be the free truck used from Devon Self-Storage on 200 across from Hobby Lobby?
Yola!
Yes. Now don't forget to bring it back when you're done to Devon Self-Storage.
Yes, Alice. I'll even remember to call them at 873-0777 to make sure they'll remember me.
George, I'm sure they'll remember you.
Thanks, Alice.
Oh, George.
Coming August 8th and 9th, the first annual Ocala Bike Fest. How would you like a chance to win a 2014 Harley Street Glide? How about a 2014 Indian Chief Vintage? The tickets are only $100 each, and each chance drawing has only 599 tickets. Now that is some great odds. All proceeds go to ARC. Questions, call 387-2210. The number again is 387-2210. Ocala Bike Fest. We'll see you there.
This is James Snyder inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy, right here on WOCA 1370.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. We're in Florida. Intervals of clouds and sunshine today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, especially this afternoon when they can be quite heavy, the high 86 to 90. A shower and thunderstorm early tonight, then partly cloudy later tonight, those 69 to 73. Tomorrow, clouds and some sun with a couple of thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon, high 86 to 90. Saturday, clouds and sun with a couple of thunderstorms, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA.
The days of the disco, man. Wow.
The music's definitely changed since the kids left, huh?
Yes, it has.
Although JJ did a good job. Austin got a little too new wave for me sometimes. But
I think JJ would just play Sinatra about every fifth song. You know,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Thank you. That just reminded me. I ain't played Frank Sinatra in a while.
Even though he is of my genre. Actually, my parents are a little more than mine. But anyway, I mean, I like Sinatra, but I don't like hear him all day. You know, I mean, I have a very eclectic music taste. I like One Direction. I like some of the stuff that One Direction does. I know over here he's laughing at me over right now.
I know it's the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin, but it's about to be the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin and Mike off.
I like it, and I like my niece likes it, and I like talking to her about it. There's one song in particular I like. I'm not a hip hop fan. I mean, there's not much hip hop that I play. I have a little bit of country music I listen to now.
You mean
like
Turn Down the What by Lil Jon is not in your playlist?
Yeah, I got that, but that's
okay. All right, good.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the music I like. All good music I appreciate, and even the music I don't particularly like, I do appreciate the artistry of it. So
well, we talked about something the other day. We told Pamela Calero that she should go out and find it, and I was quite impressed that you knew who we were talking about when Matthew Wardell and all of us were meeting. And I said Bella Fleck, and you right then knew who Bella Fleck was. No problem.
Fleck 10 years ago, listening to Bella Fleck. So
Bella Fleck, I love Bella Fleck and Fleck tones.
I mean, a lot of people don't understand well, I won't get into bluegrass music, but there's a lot of great, and I discovered bluegrass music, and really I was about as far from it as you could get. I mean, I had no interest in knowing about bluegrass. Then I went and saw it live one time, and I fell in love with it. I liked it because it was so honest and earthy. And just really any kind of really great music. I mean, generally speaking, I love artistry. I love people. I've known songwriters I've known, people I've like my friend who wrote Key Largo, which many years ago, which is a friend of mine. Anyway, on to another thing. This is about getting drunk. And when we left just a minute ago, I said, what do you think the drunkest state in the union is? And this particular story on Deadspin, it comes from the National Institute for Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, from a 2014 report on alcohol consumption in the United States. It is per capita, just so you know, Tom. Converting various boozes to pure ethanol volumes, the researchers estimated the country as a whole drank 2.33 gallons of alcohol per 14 or older resident. A 2.2% increase in 2011. That's a lot of booze. So,
and anybody 14 and older who they're high school students.
Yeah. The report also broke down the data state by state. Utah, as you said, is last.
Most sober state in the country.
Of course, because obviously you can't even get caffeine drinks out there.
No.
Have you been to Utah?
I have.
Been to Salt Lake a number of times for basketball games and seen the game, whatever.
You can't
nice city, by the way. It's a very nice city.
Right, but there's no coffee,
you can get alcohol.
Right,
there's places you can get it, but it's just you can't get it, over the counter per se, and there are bottle clubs and whatever. But they don't drink. Mormons don't drink caffeine.
No,
and they can't get hard to get sodas. Anyway, this is about alcohol, and so this story is Utah's last. You named about 10 states in a break.
I didn't got none of them right.
Well, I didn't say you get any right. I didn't say you didn't get any right. I just didn't acknowledge it.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned the state, but I didn't say.
Oh, I did mention the state?
Finally, in the last couple. And they have a grading of this by state, and you take, I guess, the higher the number, the more you consume. And Florida, you think would be pretty high.
Probably 20, 19, somewhere like that.
Well, it's not ranked by position. It's ranked by the number, like on the basis of the highest number being 4.65, the lowest being 1.37.
Right.
So this is where do you rank in that? And, there's been a lot of studies about Florida that the retirement communities or places like the villages, there's a lot of drinking that goes on there, tons of it. I read a study at the University of Florida that we wrote a series on aging people, and one of the things they do when they get down there is and semi-retire, they drink a lot of booze.
Okay? I've been out to restaurants down there. Trust me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to have a University of Florida study to tell me they drink a lot of booze.
I lived in a development in Punta Gorda, which was not a retirement, but it was over 50 area, and homes. And I can tell you they bought their booze, but what is that?
About a half gallon.
About a half gallon.
Yeah, the 1.75 liter.
And that's what they brought to parties. They have. Anyway, so having said that, Florida, strangely enough, is right in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
In the middle. And you take, what would be a state you think drank a lot of booze? So
Nevada.
Nevada is one of the highest.
Well, it'd have to because all the booze is free in the casinos.
Yeah, and Dean Martin's not even alive. That's the thing.
Right. Dean and Frank are no longer with us.
It's 3.27, which is high.
High.
But not the highest. So no, I
think a lot of the people in Montana and all, they ain't got much to do out there, so they're drinking.
Well, you think Alaska would be really high.
You think Alaska would be really high.
But it was 2.8, so it wasn't that high. It was kind of a little above norm. But the state with the highest consumption of alcohol this past year is New Hampshire.
I figured it had to be New Hampshire.
4.65. Them boys do a lot of drinking up there.
Cold.
Well, it's cold in Alaska, too. It's also cold in Alaska. And here's a surprise. Texas, you'd think they'd like to have a few drinks in Texas. They're only 2.28.
Yeah, well, you got to think, though, because of this is per capita, you got to think of the relative size and all.
Yeah.
Waters that down. Population waters that down a little bit.
Yeah. Carolina, the South Carolina boys drink a little booze. They were higher than Florida. In the South.
Where's Rhode Island in that list?
Rhode Island, I think it's everybody right just below 3. Not so high. Anyway, and New York, you'd think it'd be high. New York is only 2.17.
Where's Georgia?
Georgia's 1.99.
Very, very, very Southern Baptist controlled
They
state.
didn't go
though.
where they weren't listening to where you used to live.
No. Well, no. Obviously they didn't. I wasn't part of that survey.
No Statesboro in there anywhere, for sure.
And, Florida would have been higher on that list if they'd have contacted me and Hugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Hugh and I.
Yeah, Hugh brings that number up. So, I mentioned also earlier this new site, Deadspin runs a lot of it. The 538 it's developed by the guy who did who correctly predicted the outcome of the presidential election with his analytics. You guys follow these analytics? I mean, everybody's into analytics. I do. Numbers for everything. They go in and say, okay, and they make predictions based on analytics. They're now into everything. I read something the other day on the World Cup, who they predicted would win, by analytics, the World Cup. The latest thing they're going to do, 538, the website, good website, by the way, in search of America's best burrito. They're going
that's easy.
Going to metrics on 65,000 establishments.
Buddy, that's an easy answer.
Don't have
you
it.
know that. Burrito Brothers in Gainesville.
Yeah, right. They're good. There's the comments are Texas should have it. Maybe Houston would be one. Whatever. California gets a little run.
It'll probably be someplace like Cleveland.
Probably. Probably. Exactly. And
St. Paul, Minnesota had the best burrito, probably.
Some guy from San Francisco says that out there, I can't get San Francisco, I can't say it. Although I had great Chinese food about San Francisco. Anyway, some of the things they're doing, the really important issues like the best burrito. I love that.
Best burrito in the world,
Exactly.
in the United States.
Best in the United States, exactly. So.
Gainesville, Florida, Burrito Brothers. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. I won. This is a very famous place.
You've had a burrito or two from Burrito Brothers.
So, actually, when I was in school, there wasn't a Burrito Brothers.
Right.
But I had them after I
Right,
left.
afterwards, right.
My nephew, Scott Lovell,
lived on them.
Devoured them.
Lived on them.
There was a hole in the wall.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, literally.
A hole in the wall was how big this place.
Yeah.
If you had 4 people waiting for burritos, you were crowded.
Exactly. In my day, the most popular place to go, aside from some of the barbecue places on the other side of town, which are unbelievable, is that the In-N-Out burger was to die for.
Yeah.
And in those days, girls had curfews to go after dates.
Had to get them back to the dorm.
So there's a drive-in. So after the girls got dropped off, that'd be
all went there.
4 blocks of cars at In-N-Out burger. The guys coming by to get their burgers, So
Now, when you were in school, had Sonny opened his first restaurant yet?
No, not yet.
Right there by the bowling alley on Waldo Road?
Had not opened it yet, no. Let me just get this story about, I talked about it a lot. I want to get this, I've got to do fake or factoid. This story from the Washington Post talks about the insurgents have been inspired by Al-Qaeda. They press toward Baghdad now, going toward Baghdad. They're taking over cities, and they're, at nightfall, the militants have reached the flashpoint city of Samarra, 70 miles outside Baghdad. They're coming for Baghdad. And they already seized Tikrit, which is, of course, Saddam Hussein's hometown.
Right.
That's symbolic. And they're talking about the stunning speed that they've been able to do this with. The route has unfolded in northern Iraq, raised deep doubts about the capacity of U.S.-trained Iraqi security forces. I saw on news last night some of the people in Iraqi taking off the uniforms and leaving, giving it up, saying, I'm done. So much for that. You can train a military person all you want to for the skills, and you can put a uniform on, it doesn't make him a soldier.
No.
A soldier is one that stays and fights, if that's what you are. If you're a soldier, you're there to fight. You don't give up your uniform and walk away, which apparently has happened. So the militants, they're making a mess of it there, and it's returning the state, the country to the pre-America state where what we did doesn't matter. Our blood basically didn't count for anything. If this is what happens, we should be ashamed of ourselves if we ever go back to our country like that and put American troops in there to die for something that really means nothing to anybody. It's disgraceful, in my opinion. That's what I want to say about that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll lighten up. We'll have a little comment or two on fake or factor. Are you guys all playing today? Who's going to win today?
That would be me, of course.
I say...
You say Spencer?
I think Spencer just might take it.
Think Spencer might take it? I'm going with Christian today. I'm going with Christian. I think Christian's going to win it today. We'll take a break, come back, talk about the Las Vegas odds on Christian, on Spencer and Tom. Fake or factoid next, right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Hello, gorgeous. Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready for prom season with updos and makeup. And with summer coming, now's the time to book your appointment to get that Brazilian blowout or start with your summer highlights. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. Hello, gorgeous.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Ditch the foods that cause bloat and then eat more lean protein, berries, and fresh veggies. You do that, you can drop 5 pounds in a week. If you'd like to go to all your kids' recitals and never miss a sporting event, having a flexible schedule might be more appealing than a bigger paycheck. If you stop paying attention because you're tired or stressed, that is normal. But you may have ADD if you have difficulty with small talk.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Coming up, Buddy Martin Sports Page next. Ron Syrak from Golf Digest Golf World. When I last looked at the leaderboard, I really liked the leaderboard, by the way, this morning. And there's a Seminole was leading it when I left town and left his house, and we'll pick up on that. Tom will give you the leaderboard at the top of the hour, and what's going on is the golf course is looking spectacular, and they're doing quite well on it. And there's some scores lower than we thought, and a lot of names I liked up there. So coming up at 5:15, Ron Syrak from Pinehurst, and then what's happening in Gainesville with Joker Phillips stepping aside. Mark Long of the AP will join us in the second half hour of the program. Meanwhile, it's time, next hour, it's time for America's favorite game show. not on TV, but right here on radio. Very popular. Thousands of people right in wanted to play this game. But today, we're just going to go in-house. Tom Schmitz is trying to defend his winning streak. And we've got two newbies. We'll see how they do. Spencer thinks he might win it today. Las Vegas says he's second favorite. Tom is favored 3-1. Spencer 5-1. I like a long shot 6-1. Christian, I think, has a chance today. Guys, ready to go? Fake or factoid? Number one, the Mississippi River once started flowing backwards after an earthquake. Fake or factoid?
Fact.
Fact.
3 facts, 3 correct answers. Number 2, the Colorado River ran dry for 37 years in the 1700s.
Fake.
Fact.
Fake.
Who said fake?
I did.
You guys are correct. It's fake. Tom has a miss. Number 3, a snail can sleep for more than 3 years at a time.
Fact. Fake.
Fact.
It's fact. Spencer has a miss now. What's the score, Tom?
1 for Spencer, 1 for me. The long shot still with no misses.
Okay. Number 4, originally grapefruit were orange colored.
Fact.
Fake.
Tom said fake. You said fake. You're correct. Even score now. Was all even? No, Spencer's got 2.
Spencer's got 2. Christian's got 1.
All right. Next, in its ancient form, the carrot was purple and not orange. While we're young. Make Tom go first.
Fact.
All right, 3 facts. See, don't let him trick you. Make him go first sometime. He does that on you all the time. Okay, here we go. Here's the mulligan round. The most danced style around the world ever for a 10-year period was the twist.
Fact, yeah.
Fake.
Tom says fake. Tom is correct. It's fake. Spencer's out. All right, Spencer. Now it's down to Tom and the kid.
You really they fell victim to that.
That was a little unfair advantage because of your age.
That really was.
All right. And here's the next one. Nachos were invented by a guy named Nacho.
I'm gonna let the young man with the Hispanic heritage go first.
Hey, you know what? Don't let him do that to you. Wait him out. Sweat him out. Make him go.
I'm in control of the clock. It doesn't bother me.
I'll just call a tie then. Let's say tie.
Fake.
Tom says fake.
Fact.
You're correct. It's fact.
2-2.
All right, here we go. More than 13,000 years of human life has been spent watching the Gangnam Style video.
Fact.
I'll go fact.
Fact? Both correct. Comes down to the number now. This will decide the winner. The human head weighs how much?
6 pounds.
6 pounds?
8.
8 pounds? It's a tie. It's 7. We finished it. All right, good job.
That is a tie.
There you go. Good job. All right, Christian, you didn't win, but you're a co-winner. Coming up next, stay tuned for the information on the U.S. Open right here on The Source.
And you taught me how to say.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant. Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Properties Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded frizzies. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Properties Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems. Specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Properties Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at theproperties.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to, not Jim George. He said he's taking the day off. He said he's sending his daughter, Michelle, in to talk to us about American cable services.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then Ocala Magazine Radio with your host, Kelly Hart. Kelly will bring to these airwaves the stories in Ocala Magazine.
Then join the Equine Alliance of Marion County as they let us know what's going on in the equine world on horse sense.
And then Dr. Lori Marker, one of the world's leading experts on cheetahs. She's going to talk to us about cheetahs, cheating, and everything cheatable. It's a book called The Future for Cheetahs.
Laura Riley is a psychotherapist who helps battered women. She's written a book called Tell Me of Brave Women, depicting the lives of 3 unique women from different parts of the world.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on the Source WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Vice President Biden assures Iraq's Prime Minister the U.S. will step up security support as Islamic extremists take over more Iraqi cities. Fox's Jennifer Griffin.
Pentagon and the White House said today that they are expediting foreign military sales to the Iraqi government, meaning they're going to speed up delivery of Apache helicopters, F-16 fighter jets, other military hardware that the Iraqi government had requested and had bought in recent months.
One sticking point.
By law, they have to assure that those weapons won't fall into enemy hands or into insurgents' hands. They can't do that at this point in time.
The Wall Street Journal reports Iran's Revolutionary Guard is assisting Iraqi ground troops to regain control of Tikrit. This as the U.S. evacuates plane loads of civilians. The Dow closing down 110. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When my son started having behavior problems, the total transformation techniques were like the instruction manual on how to deal with him. We got immediate results.
Do you wish your kid came with an instruction manual? When he's disrespectful, defiant, or even abusive, do you know how to fix it? I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman, and I'll show you how to change your child's behavior with the Total Transformation, the program that helps you fix every behavior problem under the sun. There's no screaming, no fighting, no frustration. The Total Transformation is the program my husband James used for over 30 years to solve even the worst behavior problems. Your child will listen to you again, and you'll get peace and sanity back in your home. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you.
Call now, 1-800-894-8166. 1-800-894-8166. That's 1-800-89...
How much time? 30? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome to the Sports Page on a Thursday, U.S. Open Thursday. Lots of stuff going on. We got the World Cup starting. Tonight we got Game 4 between the Heat and Spurs. And we'll see whether or not the Heat can rebound to that butt whipping they got. Man, that was awful. Meanwhile, the big news is in Pinehurst, where the golf course is not causing as much of a problem as we thought it might. Ideal conditions for scoring, a variety of names throughout the day on the leaderboard. I've loved the names up there from one time to another. Mickelson, Fowler, McDowell, Spieth, Kuchar, now some new ones in the afternoon round. Tom Schmitz is going to take us to Pinehurst, and at 5:15, we'll be talking to a man who is in Pinehurst, covering for Golf Digest and Golf World. He'll be talking to us about the conditions of the golf course as well as the players he likes to win it. And Ron Sarek joins us at 5:15. Then it's time to talk about what is going on in Gainesville. Did some digging on it today. And we'll see whether Mark Long, who's a very good reporter, has uncovered anything about what happened with Joker Phillips, the wide receiver coach, who was considered to be a popular guy, out of a job. What happened? Meanwhile, here's Tom.
Before we get started on the updates, buddy, I just want to say that today, in history, 1948, Ben Hogan wins his first U.S. Open championship. One of a few.
Follow the Sun, by the way. Great movie.
Keegan Bradley, your leader, 3 under through 10 holes, really making it look easy out there. Kevin Na, 2 under, is in second place along with Graham McDowell, Paul Casey, Jason Duffner, the Players' Champion winner Martin Keimer, Sing-Yoon No is
What'd you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Soon I'll know what.
Soon you'll know.
I'm sorry. That's a player.
Brant Snedeker tied for 9th. He's at 1 under with Henrik Stenson, Matt Kuchar, Brendan Todd, Jordan Spieth. There's your guy, buddy. 1 under.
He played really well today.
Hideki Matsuyama's at 1 under.
He's on fire.
Dustin Johnson, who you said look out for Dustin Johnson.
I like Dustin Johnson.
1 under. Steve Stricker, who has the kind of game that can win this U.S. Open because he's just slow and steady. He's at 1 under. And then Phil Mickelson leads the group. Ian Poulter, Phil Mickelson, Russell Henley, Ricky Fowler, all at even par, shot 70 today. And Phil said after his round of 70, it's my putter that was the problem.
Well, he was 3 under at one point. He led the tournament for a while. And he played the golf course beautifully. And the greens were holding. He just couldn't make putts.
That's what he said. He said he lamented a putting stroke that's been giving me fits this year, and I've switched to a different grip this week. The one club that's hurting me is my putter, so I've got to get that turned around in the next couple of days.
Right? Went to the big grip.
He went to the big grip and the claw. He changed it, went back to using the claw. I'm not real sure the U.S. Open will be the week I decide to change my putting.
Yeah. Phil's a good story. Hope he wins. What else you got?
The Cleveland Cavaliers have reached out to Mark Jackson about their head coaching job, according to sources. Cavs GM David Griffin telephoned Jackson 7 days ago, and the two spoke, but no formal interview has been scheduled. Of course, you know the Cavaliers have casted a wide net out there trying to get a coach. They offered John Calipari $10 years at $80 million. He said no. So
have they called you yet? They called me earlier.
I actually missed a call from the Cleveland area code. It may have been the Cavaliers. Could have been. Brian Hoyer is securely ahead of Johnny Manziel on the depth chart and will be listed as the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback going into training camp, according to Mike Pettine, or I don't even know how to say it.
How you pronounce Pettine? Yeah. You know, here's what I say about that. The old phrase, it comes as no surprise to this reporter.
Right.
Because I remember when Steve DeBerg, remember Steve DeBerg?
Yes.
Steve DeBerg later played for Tampa, was playing quarterback for the Broncos, and Broncos got a pretty hot guy in a trade named John Elway. And the first
they traded him for the Yankees, right? They made a trade with the Yankees.
Yeah, really. And so DeBerg made a very, very lucid comment in camp. He said, it's just a matter of time before Elway's talent takes over my experience. And Manziel will be the quarterback. Right now, Hoyer has the experience. So,
which is exactly what the coach said. He says, I won't rule out Johnny Manziel could close the gap. I don't think it's insurmountable. I think Brian is securely ahead of him right now. The reason being the rookies hadn't been here very long. They're playing catch-up from the playbook standpoint. No. Hoyer's experience with the team and the league give him an edge right now.
I'll give Hoyer 3 games.
I think if Johnny Manziel shows the ability we think he's going to show, he may start opening day.
Yeah, it could be.
Also, the Atlanta Falcons will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks during training camp.
You ever watched that?
I have.
I never watched it.
Here's the thing. Not a fan of Atlanta being part of it because it's a distraction. We're excited about the opportunity to give our fans a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to prepare for an NFL team for the rigors of a 16-game season. Our Falcons owner and chairman Arthur Blank said, this marks the first time our franchise will be featured on Hard Knocks. So the Atlanta Falcons will be HBO's Hard Knocks. I'll watch it because, I have a love affair with the Falcons, but I think it's going to be a distraction.
I'm sorry you have a love affair with the Falcons. I know you suffered a lot.
I do. I suffered a lot last year. San Francisco 49ers star quarterback Colin Kaepernick and 2 other NFL players will not face charges in an incident involving a woman in a downtown hotel. A memo released by the Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office said there was insufficient evidence that any crime occurred in the hotel room on April 1st. Tests indicated the woman was not sexually assaulted, and other evidence backed up the players' contention that nothing happened. In fact, the memo by Assistant State Attorney Laura Adams described the woman as incoherent when police and fire rescue responded. She had to be sedated in order to be taken to the hospital, where she was temporarily involuntarily committed for her own safety.
No. All right.
And finally, once again, at the U.S. Open, give you a rundown real quick one more time. Keegan Bradley leads at 3 under. Kevin Na, Graham McDowell, Dustin Johnson now at 2 under. Jason Duffner at 2 under. Martin Keimer, your leaders and second place right now. Pretty good leaderboard.
Pretty good leaderboard.
Name-wise at the U.S. Open, unless you don't know who any of these people are because all you know about golf is Tiger Woods, then this leaderboard's not much for you.
A lot of Americans up there. A lot of
Americans.
Yeah. So I tell you what I really liked. I really, really like what Ricky Fowler did. A guy who's known for his kind of hip-hop outfits and his cap turned sideways and his flashy clothes, which I like his style. He's what we used to call Doug Sanders, was the same kind of guy, a fashion trendsetter. But Ricky today did something that won me over. He had somebody coached him up, obviously, because he had never met Payne Stewart. But he went out today and wore a pair of knickers in honor of the great Payne Stewart, who, if you didn't know by now, of course, won the U.S. Open at Pinehurst and died in a plane accident 4 months later. And they asked Ricky about it. He says, this is kind of a strange response. He's one of my all-time favorite players, although I never met him. So, but he honored it and paid respect to a guy that I think won him a lot of people, a lot of fans. So
he said Payne Stewart, when he was 10 years old, watching him win the U.S. Open, drove him towards making sure he was committed to playing the game of golf.
Right.
Boyhood hero.
Yeah, well, we'll ask a guy who's there how to be accepted. Ron Sauerreich coming up next for Golf World Golf Digest, direct from Pinehurst and the U.S. Open on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still play here.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Keeping you in touch with Ocala. WOCA.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to, not Jim George. He said he's taking the day off. He said he's sending his daughter, Michelle, in to talk to us about American cable services.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-size.
And then Ocala Magazine Radio with your host, Kelly Hart. Kelly will bring to these airwaves the stories in Ocala Magazine.
Then join the Equine Alliance of Marion County as they let us know what's going on in the equine world on horse dens.
And then Dr. Lori Marker, one of the world's leading experts on cheetahs. She's going to talk to us about cheetahs, cheating, and everything cheatable. It's a book called The Future for Cheetahs.
Laura Riley is a psychotherapist who helps battered women. She's written a book called Tell Me of Brave Women, depicting the lives of 3 unique women from different parts of the world.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on the Source WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
You think that sounds hot? The deals are even hotter at Palm Chevrolet of Ocala. During our sizzling summer sales event, you'll get model year-end pricing on every new Chevrolet in our huge inventory. Get up to $10,000 off any Chevy Silverado pickup in stock. We'll even take your current trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. 2014 Chevy Cruze, just $149 per month. 2014 Chevy Malibu, just $189 per month. Plus, GM certified pre-owned vehicles up to 50% off compared to new. And get 2-year, 24,000-mile no-cost scheduled maintenance. Palm Chevrolet of Ocala has multiple banks and credit unions with the lowest rates for all types of credit, even if your credit is less than perfect. When other dealers say no, Palm Chevrolet of Ocala says yes. Palm Chevrolet of Ocala, where everyone spends less and gets more. 2300 Southwest College Road, exit 350, just east of I-75 in beautiful Ocala. 36-month lease, $28.92 at signing, plus tax, title, license with approved credit, 0 security deposit, trade balance carried to new loan, offers not in combination, find new roads. PalmChevrolet.com.
We are back on Buddy Sports Page, efforting to reach Ron Cyrack right now of Golf World Digest. He's at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. Number 2, we had a change on top of the leaderboard at the U.S. Open as Keegan Bradley has fallen backwards. Bogey's number 11. Keegan Bradley is now at 2 under. Kevin Na, Graham McDowell, Dustin Johnson, Keegan Bradley, Martin Keimer, all tied for the lead at the U.S. Open. 2 under. Kevin Na, American, Dustin Johnson, and Keegan Bradley, along with German Martin Keimer and Northern Ireland's Graham McDowell. So pretty good name leaderboard there at the U.S. Open, and a lot of talk about how the course had been, all the Bermuda grass had been snatched up off the course for the rough and everything, and it had been put back to the way the North Carolina wilderness would have been at about the time Donald Ross built the golf course. And people thought that may make for a much harder golf course. Doesn't seem to be that today. What's happening, what I saw when I watched just a little brief moment of it, was instead of doing what everybody has to do at the U.S. Open, you get in a deep rough and you just have to pitch back out in the fairway. You can't make shots. They're actually in some of the weeds and rough, buddy, or reeds and sand now, actually have the opportunity, if they make a choice, to take a gamble and make a shot towards the green instead of having to pitch back out of rough that there's no way you can make a green.
You know, the USGA has gotten a lot of criticism over the years for a variety of decisions, and it used to be called stuff shirts and what have you. They were strict. They gave impossible conditions for players to play, and they've been bashed pretty good over the years. But they've done some things right lately. They had some terrific venues for the U.S. Open the last 20 years, and I absolutely love what they did at Pinehurst. And they're getting rave reviews about this. And what they're finding is that if you haven't seen it, it's the natural state, is how it looked 40, 50 years ago. And they let the grass grow. There's no real thick Bermuda grass in the rough. The rough is a bunch of weeds and some, I don't know what those bushes are there. They just look like little sagebrush bushes or something. And then there's a lot of regular sand that's not bunker. And sometimes you get a few growing things that you have to play off of. But, and I wasn't sure how I'd like it. Boy, from watching it today, I watched it pretty much most of the morning. I love it. And I'm wondering if this might be a trend in the future. What's it going to be like? I mean, it's like a British Open in regards to, you see brown on the fairway. In America, we laugh at the British Open because we don't get brown fairways here. And what they've done at Pinehurst, they made it more like it used to be. It's not as penal in many regards as it is at many U.S. Opens when the rough is 4 inches high, and it's impossible. And Pinehurst looks terrific, and we're really shocked that their scores have been as low as they have. So many people under par the first round. Tom, you predicted yesterday it may be 5 over that wins.
And I still will stand by that. The USGA tonight, when they go in and look at them scores, the USGA will go put flags in places. They'll put tee boxes in places. They'll do things to dry out greens. The USGA does not want this thing to be 9 or 10 under.
Well, what the USGA did, is they last night, according to the reports I read and heard, is that they